Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. Guys, like buses, we wait around all summer for one and then two turn up in quick succession. That's right, it's match day again. Match day 2 in the league as Rangers need to obviously get back to winning ways to restart the league campaign. We can't let that lot from the city get any further ahead. This is a must-win game this afternoon at Ibrox as Rangers face Livingston in what no doubt will be a typical Ibrox Saturday afternoon, where it is attack v defence, where it is Rangers versus the low block, where Rangers have to manage to move around the opposition to create and carve out chances to get that goal and to get perhaps a couple of goals to ensure that we win and get our first 3 points on the board. Certainly, it is a situation we cannot afford to have where we would to drop points again this afternoon would be absolutely unforgivable. To drop points again in the league would not be acceptable. At the end of the day, I know the team needs time to gel. I know there are a lot of new players, but this is the Scottish Premier League. You do not get a chance to get back a lot of points very easily due to the fact that it is such a weak league that ourselves and that lot from across the city dominate with such ease. After the defeat at Rugby Park, this is an absolute must win for the club, as every game is a must win for Rangers. That is certainly the demands of the fans. And as Barry Ferguson said in his newspaper column yesterday, something that they need to realise quite quick, and the penny needs to drop with them, what the expectation is at Rangers, that we go at teams and that we beat teams. And that even if you're playing tiddlywinks for Rangers, you have to win. Well, this afternoon at Ibrox, first question will be, what is the Rangers starting lineup? How will Rangers line up against Livingston? Now, for me, my opinion, and look, I'm not as expert a coach as Michael Beale. If I was, I'd have a good job like he's got, and I'd be getting paid an awful lot of money for it instead of having to do that, instead of doing this. But I love Badger. I do love doing this, and you know what? I'd love to be able to do this full time, but I need the chance to really take off in a big way. So please keep hitting that sub and ringing that notification bell. Well, look, I feel that against Livingston this afternoon, we need to really make sure that we go out there with our strongest possible 11. We need to take no prisoners, even though we have the game on Tuesday against Servette. I think there is still a need to field our very strongest lineup. I don't think you can afford to make too many changes. I don't want to see players coming into the team that are not fully committed, that are not of a sufficient standard. Some of the players that we saw maybe last week, I do not under any circumstances want to see John Lundstrom anywhere near that starting 11. For me, the guy is finished. I just don't think he's up to it. He slows the game down. He can only pass sideways or backwards. He gives the ball away. He fouls. He just, to me, looks like a pub footballer. And I don't think he should play for Rangers ever again, unfortunately. I don't think that will be the case. I do think he will play again. Michael Beale does seem to have a real blind spot when it comes to John Lundstrom. I don't know why. Maybe John Lundstrom's got some compromising photos of Michael Beale. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's all up in the air. Anyway, this is the team that I would start with today. Very similar to the team that we fielded on Wednesday night against Servette. A couple of changes, though, that I would make. So, obviously, we start with Jack Butland in goal. Jack Butland, for me, has been excellent since he's come to the club. I know he's conceded a couple of goals, but he's made some good saves. He was rock solid on Wednesday night against Servette. He made a couple of very good saves in the Kilmarnock game. He's commanded his area well. He's played sweeper-keeper very well. I think Butland is obviously, he is undisputed number one now, barring any disasters, which we obviously hope will not happen, touch wood. Back four, I would go with Sterling, Goldson, Suter, and Barisic. And I know what you're going to say. Controversial, controversial. Where's the captain? Is James Tavernier. Look, Tavernier's getting older. He looked absolutely finished and shattered at the end of that game against Servette. If it is that we believe, rightly or wrongly, that he is one of our most important players, perhaps he is one player that does need to be rested for Wednesday night, given the fact that he did look very fatigued at the end of that game. I think we do need to see Dujon Sterling. We need to see what we've got. Livingston will not be as big a threat as, say, an Aberdeen or a Hearts or a Hibs to, stealing something, or certainly as that lot from across the city. So for me, this is the ideal opportunity to give Sterling his first start, to see what we've got in Dujon Sterling, to see if he's up to playing at this level. He's a very good defender. He's a natural defender. He'll provide more defensive balance, giving obviously Barisic more license to get forward. The midfield, the front five there, real more license to really attack. Ryan Jack can drop in and cover. I think for me, that's got to be the start, that he's got to be given the opportunity. And if he impresses, then I'd play him Tuesday night as well, because I just think you can't just keep having the team because he can take penalties and free kicks. I'm sure we've got other players that can do that. And Tav for me is slowing down, and his defense is getting worse and worse. And we can't afford to be in a situation where he does something, like he did in the semi-final where he fell asleep and allowed Jota to score. We can't afford that to happen again in this league campaign. I know that's controversial. I know there's a lot of Rangers fans won't agree with me, but I just think it's time for Sterling. Goldson and Suter are our best central defenders. Got to start. Barisic, look, you know me. I will bash Barisic whenever he's bad, but I thought he was good against Servette on Wednesday. I thought he had a very good display. Plus, you've all got a situation where Ridvan isn't fit. Who else is there? So you've really got to go with Borna. Now, I know what a lot of people will be thinking as regards Ryan Jack, that he needs to be spelled. He needs to, have time. We don't want to risk him getting hurt or injured. But Ryan is such a crucial player for me. Ryan was excellent on Wednesday night against Servette. He was absolutely brilliant. And I don't think it's any, coincidence that when Ryan plays, Rangers look a better team because he covers in, he drops into the defence, he holds, he goes back in, he shields that back four, he covers for the fullbacks. He just gives the fullbacks more license to get forward and create that width. He gives the midfielders around him and in front of him more freedom to attack because they know he's always going to be there. So for me, he's got to start. And as long as he's fit, he has to play. Raskin is a no-brainer. He was quality on Wednesday. He was quality against Kilmarnock, one of the few who had a pass mark against Kilmarnock. Cifuentes, I'd love to see Sifu given a start. I think he did very well when he came on. He looks a big unit. Give him about an hour. I think he'd do fantastic. So give him an hour, then perhaps bring on Dowell or Hadji. But Sifu, for me, has to be given a run out. And I think with that low block as well, Sifu, that box-to-box, thrusting into the area, playing a killer pass through is exactly what we need. Todd Cantwell cannot, under any circumstances, be dropped again this season. We saw Wednesday night how important this boy is to our team. He leads the press. It's not just his work in and around the 16-yard box, in and around the attacking areas. It's his defensive work as well. It is him winning the ball back that led to Rangers' second goal. His passing is excellent. His appreciation of space is very good. For me, he has to play. I'd like to see Lammers and Danilo up front. I want to see Danilo through the middle. I think playing Dessers through the middle kind of takes a little bit away from Danilo. He's forced out wide, and perhaps we don't see the best of him there. Dessers isn't fit. He quite clearly is just not fit. Perhaps bring him on for the last half an hour to get him some more match time. But for me, Danilo and Lammers have got to start. They just are better players than Dessers. And you want to see the best of those two, start them up front together, see how they go, see how they link. That for me would be my starting 11 for the game against Livy this afternoon. Now, let me know in the comments below, how would you start against Livingston? Let me know what you think. Now, do I think that'll be the team? Not a bit of it. I don't think there's any chance on earth that will be the team that Michael Beale names this afternoon at Ibrox to face Livingston. I think this will be the team that he probably will face, that he will name. And so I can hear the groans already from you guys. I think he'll go with, obviously, Butland in goal. A back four will be the same back four. I just don't think he'll drop Tav. I just think Tav's undroppable. I think he's becoming bigger than the club, which is wrong, 100% wrong. I think Lundstrom will play instead of Jack, which is just a disaster waiting to happen, given the fact that, again, he'll slow the game down. And when you're playing at home against a low block, you cannot afford to be slow in attack. You've got to be quick. You've got to get forward. You cannot allow the opposition time to reset. Lundstrom gives the opposition time to reset because the moment he gets the ball, everything just grinds to a halt because his first pass is always backwards or sideways, or he gives the ball away. John Lundstrom is an awful footballer. I mean, I read a great comment from one of the commenters on Rangers Review the other day saying that he should be investigated for impersonating a footballer. 100% agree. The guy's useless. Absolutely useless. I mean, he should never be. He's not even good enough to play for my local pub team. I mean, he's that bad. But he'll play because Michael Beale has a blind spot. Cameron and Raskin in front of him. I think we'll have Lammers, then in behind Dessers and Danilo. I think obviously, Beale wants that front three to start to link and wants that front three to kind of get to know each other. So I think he will play that front three. That I think will be Michael Beale's team today. Like I said, I really hope that John Lundstrom isn't playing again. I don't want to see him play again this season. I want to see him sold, but it's trying to find someone who's gullible enough to pay money for him. I think that is the big issue. It's going to be a tough game. Look, I know that Livingston will not want to come out and play us. They'll want to, frustrate foul. They'll want to stop the game, break it up, a bit like Servette did second half. We've got to overcome that. And to overcome that, we've got to go at it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. We've got to play like we did the first 30 minutes against Servette. Fast, quick passing, quick interchanges, move the ball quickly. The key to unlocking a low block is quick, fast passing, not giving your opposition time to constantly reset. If you go forward, slow it, go back, it automatically gives the opposition time to drop back in, sit, reset, and get ready for you. And that is something we cannot afford to do as a team. Okay, prediction for today. I'm going 2-0 Rangers, a 2-0 victory. Yes, we are going to keep a clean sheet. Touch wood. But like I said, I don't think it will be an easy game, certainly. Big performances needed from Cantwell, Danilo, Dessers and Lammers if they are the ones that start. Hopefully, John Lundstrom is nowhere near the team because the guy is just a joke. Wishing Rangers all the best this afternoon. Let's make sure we go out there, play again and show a great development. That's another thing I want to see this afternoon, and move forward. More progression. Let's see some more progression from this team. Let's see that this team is progressing week on week on week, and that is starting to link and play well week on week on week. That's what we need to see today against Livy. Well, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think, who you'd like to start, and what you think the score will be. And as always, I need you to do two things for me. Number one, smash that like. And number two, remember, we are the people.